Hello, welcome back. Thanks for being here. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's actually one of my goals to grow my platform. So if you like this and if you are also really busy and that little subscriber notification button would be useful for you, I would absolutely love to have you. So today I want to talk about a few things that I'm loving, a few conversations that I've had, and a few thoughts as always. The first one. If you followed for a while, you may know about this chap because I've spoken about him so much. It's quite odd to speak about somebody so much when you don't even know them. But there is a man that runs past the end of our road, where we used to live actually, and where we live now. And I see him daily. And he is out there running, and he is the kind of runner actually that is the sort of runner I would really like to be. You know, just he looks like he's so in his body, he's doing the thing, he's just in the groove, no problem at all. He's got a lovely rhythm going on, and even though he's sweating, it doesn't look out of control. And I think sometimes my running does look a bit out of control, or a bit like Phoebe from Friends. Anyway, his runs seem to be kind of timed to how, like, our school run timings. And I say to my 7-year-old every single time, and we see him most days, there he is again. There he is again. And it doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's cold, what season it is, if it's boiling hot, he's there. He's doing it every single day. And this became just an observation, like, you know, in the beginning, and we've been watching him for like 3 years now. This was an observation of just looking at a fire engine or a yellow car or whatever it might be. And day on day, he's asking more and more questions like, gosh, there he is again. Do you have to do it every day? Is that what consistency is? He's asking, I mean, he's my child, so he's asking all of these sorts of questions. Anyway, today I dropped Oscar off at school and I was walking back and the chap was coming towards me. And I know that sometimes you shouldn't stop people, but I just did. And I just said to him, thank you. You are such an inspiration to my son. We see you all the time. And I just wanted to say a big thank you, because the way that you're showing up, the consistency, it's a real talking point for my son. And it's really lovely to watch him see what that does. And this guy was close to tears. This guy was just obviously not expecting this conversation, but he looked at me straight in the eye and he said, it's every day. And I said, I know, because I see you every day. And he's like, and then he said it again, it's every day. And I didn't want to delve any further because that's none of my business, but I just thought, how interesting. There was so much in the way that he said, it's every day, that has become part of his lifestyle. And like, what does he get from that? And so my first question basically is to ask you, is there something that you want to begin implementing each and every day? And is there something, a feeling, a way of being that you want to cultivate that you know that you could access in a different way? So is that you need some quiet time, you need some reflection time? So do you need to crank up a meditation practice again? I don't think crank up is the technical term. What are you requiring? What do you need right now in this season of your life? The next thing I want to talk about, and if you're listening on the podcast, come on over and to the YouTube channel. And if you're here already on the YouTube channel, hello. It's this. This is one of my favorite things. And this was actually a gift from a coaching client I'd worked with for a while. And it's a creuset teapot. Now, oh my goodness, this is where I break it live. This comes in loads of different colors. But we have lots of this sort of, I don't actually know what their colour Pantone is for this, but it's a sort of burn ready orange. We've got some salt and pepper pots, we've got some dishes, a few other things which have slipped my mind now, but loads of mugs. I really love the brand. It's really hard wearing. It feels very nice. It goes in the dishwasher. It does what it needs to do. But one thing that I've started to do in the evenings, and on a Tuesday I'm doing my acting class, so I made one for then, and sometimes I'll put in a couple of hours in the evenings, not so much anymore, but I did on Monday night. I have been putting boiling water and loads of fresh mint leaves in there, and you know what, it tastes very nice. There's something very meditative about it. I like that I don't have to get up and down, because that's where I get distracted. I'll just go make myself a cup of tea, and then I'm in the kitchen and I'm doing something else and I'm not doing what I need to do. And it just feels very grown up having this teapot scenario going on. So I'll leave a link down below if you want to check them out. 2 more things today. Time is coming up for my clients all the time, especially at this point in the year, especially for those who are maybe thinking about taking some time off over the summer, or if they've got children, somehow they're pulled in all sorts of different directions, like I've got to go and do this, and there's an after school thing, there's a school play, there's an end of year, can you help at the school fair, etc. And also there is this sense for many of us that we want to be out and about. We want to be socializing. We want to do things. Maybe our weekends are less about being at home and more away with friends or events or being outdoors. And so there's a lot going on. And one of the things that my clients are very aware of, and quite often very protective of as well, they have a real relationship, is this sense of time. And one of the things that can come up, and obviously there's a spectrum to this, and also with everything there's 2 sides to the story. So I'm not going to talk about any clients, I'm just going to talk about my own experience of time. There are points and seasons in my life, and there have been in the past, when time has felt all-consuming and unpredictable. So when I had both of my babies, they were those babies that were like, I'd just like to feed every 2 hours, please, or maybe not, and then maybe there was no rhyme or reason, there was no pattern, and I felt, certainly in those early months, more so with my son. With my daughter, we had a bit more of a routine because my eldest was going to nursery, etc. And I just felt like the time wasn't my own. I'm going to sneeze. Oh no. Am I going to sneeze? No, I'm not. There we go. Time with my son, especially that first 6 months, I just felt like I'd never seen so many hours of the day. And so to consider doing anything for myself or putting something regular in the diary, I just didn't feel in that position to do that at that time. And so there's definitely an honesty piece when we're thinking about adding new components into our week. And sometimes it's just not going to work. So we have to let that go. But then there are other things where I will say to myself, I don't have time for that. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I'm being pulled in all sorts of different directions. I've said all these phrases all of the time. And I have a question always of, do I really not have time, or am I not prioritizing it? Am I not making the time? Am I not giving it the time? Is there something that I need to shift or change in order to allow the time for that? And something that has come up again and again is this sense of, when I used to say, I don't have the time, I used to just leave it there. Like, I don't have the time, full stop. And now I flipped it round to say, I don't have time to not do the thing. And that might be a bit of a weird double negative, but bear with me. I feel at 41, my weeks, my months, my years are galloping. And one of the things that has come up again and again is today is the youngest I'm ever going to be in my life. I know when somebody said that to me once, I just thought, oh my goodness, that's quite startling. But I also thought time is not ongoing. We don't know when our last days will be. And so when I have been working through this, feeling myself, I've had to say to myself, is this really a priority? Is this something you really, really want to do? Because if it is, you have to find a way. You have to find a way. Even if you just do something like really a tiny little shuffle to move forward, you're going to have to find a way. Because what will happen is if time just continues to go on and on and on, as it invariably will, you're not going to do the thing, and you're not gaining anything from just being busy in other areas that don't matter. And so I want you to think about the next 6 months for you and ask yourself, how do you want to spend your time? What is going to be really important? What do you want to include? And this doesn't have to be big, impressive, outward things to social media. I'm not talking about big, flashy things, snazzy things that everybody on Instagram goes, oh my gosh, wow, that's fantastic. I'm so proud of you, babe. This could be, do you know what? I haven't had a lunch with my best friend this year. Right, I'm going to go and do that. I'm going to say that I don't have time or that my weeks are too busy, and I'm going to go and do that. I actually had that with a friend the other day who doesn't live far from me. So our friendship, it has that lovely looseness to it, which is quite rare in London actually, where she'll sometimes message me and say, I'm really near your house. Are you in? Can I pop in? And that's always such a treat. But I finished my book the other day, more of which I'll tell you another time. And she messaged me, it was like 5 to 12 on a Thursday lunchtime. She said, are you at home? And she came over with a bottle of champagne and some cake and said, I just wanted to celebrate the fact that you finished this book. And it was so nice. It was so spontaneous and it felt really good. So I want to ask you, and there's more resources down below if you want to look at goal setting. There might be a little cheeky bonus and a promo code. Have a look, because it's really important that you take this thing of time seriously. And once again, I'm not talking about loading more stuff in. I'm just talking about how you can use your time so at least some of it feels deliberate, feels discerning, feels aligned, feels good, etc. I'm not professing that we will all have 24 hours in a day and it's ours to do with what we want to do with it, because we don't. We have adult responsibilities, we have requirements, we have things that we need to do. But there may be, and even it might be just starting with 5 minutes, like how can I use this 5 minutes? I've got 5 minutes to myself. How am I going to use it? So let me know if you've got any comments on that. The final thing I want to share, and I'm going to do a reel on it on Instagram very soon. So if you're not following me there, it's just at Nikki Raby. I have been trying to limit the sugar chasing with my kids. They both love sugar, and I love sugar as well. And so one thing that I've been making them when they get home from school and nursery is a smoothie. And I do it in my NutriBullet, and I've been really trying to perfect the recipe so they get loads of goodness in their body, but it tastes good for them as well. So I'm going to give you the recipe and I'll link it down below. So our recipe for this, and my kids are nearly 8 and nearly 4, and they both love it. Oh, another top tip as well is to get some stainless steels. I found that once I gave them a straw each, they have their own straw, it becomes part of the ritual and they'll just drink it and slurp it, etc. So here's what our recipe is. A handful of blueberries in the bottom of the NutriBullet. I also buy frozen spinach. I also buy fresh spinach as well. But for the purposes of the smoothie, it's quite good because it's, and frozen blueberries as well. It's good because it makes it cold and refreshing. So I put one of those lumps of spinach in that you get in the frozen section in the supermarket. I put a whole banana in. I put about that of cucumber. I also do a slice of pineapple. So if your pineapple is on the side, I do a kind of that, can you see, of pineapple, and put that in. What else do I put? Oh, and I also put some mint in as well. So blueberries, a whole banana, mint, spinach, cucumber, pineapple. I think that's it. Oh, chia seeds as well. So the cheapest ones that I've found so far are from Aldi. So you can get, and we don't have an Aldi near us, but I was near one a little while ago, and I noticed their nuts and seeds are, not only do you get the double amount, but also they're cheaper than other supermarkets. So a big kind of scoop or like a tablespoon of chia seeds makes it really creamy and full. And that's the recipe. So if you try it, yeah, let me know. Let me know. It comes out really purpley, even though there's green stuff in there. And they know how to make it now. So they will often make it with me. But they know that there is the spinach in there. They know that there is the cucumber in there. And they're all good with it. So yeah, just wanted to share that as well. And I have a glass too. And it's delicious. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, for coming back. If you want that goal setting course, if you're just thinking, I need to do something, I need to make some shifts, some changes, I'm definitely in that mindset at the moment. I think halfway through the year is a really good reflection point. Likewise, if you want to work together, send me a message, send me an email, let me know what you want. That's really, really key. I am always led by you, and I will, of course, before our sessions, go off and do my own work, but spend that time working out what your wish list is. And maybe you'll be surprised. When I've done that, sometimes I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I wanted that, but I really do. It's a really good reflection session. But if you want to come and book a free coaching session with me, just go to the free section of my website and you'll find the link, my calendar, and yeah, come on over. All right, I will leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, for listening, and I'll catch you next time.